Did you know there are haircuts that can actually make you look older without even realizing it? Today, I'm revealing the 5 styles that just don't work after 60, and more importantly, the ones that instantly make you look younger. Stay with me until the end because mistake number 1 is something thousands of women still make every single day, and it can ruin your whole look, no matter how good your makeup or outfit is. Cut number 5, the too short tight pixie. The pixie cut is one of many women's favorites. It's practical, fresh, and can be incredibly elegant when styled right. But there's one detail that makes all the difference, queen. When it's too short and tight to the scalp, it just doesn't flatter like it used to. Why? Because the ultra-short pixie leaves your face completely exposed with no softness or natural framing. And once we reach an age where the skin begins to show signs of time, fine lines, slight sagging or texture changes, this kind of cut can highlight those areas instead of softening them. Plus, when the hair is cut that close, you lose a key part of what makes a woman look and feel feminine. Movement, that little gesture of running your fingers through your hair, twirling it playfully, styling it differently depending on the day, disappears with an ultra-short pixie. But not all is lost with the pixie. If you love this style, and yes, it can be incredibly chic, I have a suggestion. Go for a longer version with volume. Let it fall gently to one side, slightly covering the forehead or framing the temples. This softens your gaze, brings back sweetness, and lets you play with your style without sacrificing comfort. A great example is Helen Mirren. She's worn variations of the pixie with so much class. Not too short, not too long, but always in a shape that enhances her features and radiates confidence. Also, a slightly longer pixie gives you room to keep the sideburns soft. When these are cut too short or shaved, the look can feel too harsh. But if you leave them longer, you balance the cut and harmonize the face. It's a simple trick, but it works wonders. Your hair should speak of that, of freedom, of mature beauty, of a woman who no longer needs to prove anything to anyone, just to herself. And that's why the too short tight pixie lands at number 5 in our list of cuts that no longer work as well at this age. Are you enjoying these tips? Then don't miss my ebook, More Elegant Than Ever. It's a complete handbook to help you refresh your image. Link in the description. Cut number 4, bowl cut or bob style cuts. Queen, you've probably seen this haircut before or even worn it. It's that hairstyle with a rounded, very defined shape, almost like wearing a hair helmet. Many call it the bowl cut because it resembles an upside-down bowl. It used to be a popular style because it gave the illusion of lifting the face and adding body to the hair. But today, with what we know about style, maturity, and natural movement, that kind of volume on top is no longer our best friend. The issue with the bob or bowl cut isn't just the rounded shape, it's how it places volume in the least flattering areas, the crown, cheeks, and neck. When the bob concentrates there, it creates a visual effect of a larger head, a longer or smaller face than it really is, and it hardens the features. Everything looks forced, like you're wearing a hair hat instead of a hairstyle. Today, we look for cuts that move with us, that adapt to the weather, the day, our mood. The ball cut doesn't give you that freedom. On the contrary, it forces you to look the same every day and not always your best version. So, what to do if you currently have this kind of cut? You can ask your stylist for a longer feathered style with subtle layers around the chin or collarbone. This type of cut not only rejuvenates, it flows with your natural face shape instead of covering it. You can keep your usual length but give it a fresh touch. A medium or short layered cut with movement and natural texture can rejuvenate you more than any artificial volume ever could. Think of iconic actresses like Anna Martin, Rebecca Jones, or Angelica Maria, who in recent years have embraced short, tousled, or softly voluminous hairstyles. Because queen, true volume doesn't come from the cut. It comes from you, from your energy, from your story, from how you walk into a room being 100% yourself. No exaggeration needed because you've outgrown the need to hide under an inflated hairstyle. Cut number 3, very short, messy layers. Layers in hair have long been associated with movement, volume, and youth. Many women love them because they bring life to a hairstyle. And that's true, queen, but only when they're done right, because when layers are too short, poorly placed, or overly choppy, the result can be the opposite of what you want. This kind of cut became really popular in the 9s and is still offered in salons, especially with the promise of making fine hair look fuller. But when layers are overdone, especially on top or around the crown, the hair starts to look shapeless, it appears messy, structureless, and often gives an aged appearance. Yes, darling. Ironically, a cut that's meant to rejuvenate can actually age you more than a classic style if it's not balanced. Often, when you leave the salon, the short layered cut looks fine because they've styled it with heat. But once you're at home styling it yourself, it becomes dull, chaotic, and makes you look more tired. And you know what's most frustrating? Many women end up blaming themselves when the problem is actually the haircut. And to my beautiful queens with afro or curly hair who've been told in salons that this cut is perfect for taming your curls, let me say this with love and honesty. It's not true. This type of cut can actually make your curls more fragile. With a rougher texture and drier ends, curly hair needs freedom, thoughtful shaping, and a cut that respects its nature, not one that forces it into a mold it was never meant to fit. My curly and afro-haired queens, I recommend a semi-rounded cut instead. It'll be much easier to keep defined, shiny, and healthy. And for my straight, haired queens, if you like layers, and yes, they're a great option when done well, go for longer, softer ones that start at a strategic height, like just below the chin or at the shoulders. That allows the hair to move gracefully. But the next cut can ruin your whole image without you even noticing. Let's move on. Cut number 2, baby bangs or mini, fringe bangs can completely change your expression. That's right, gorgeous. They can soften your gaze, make your eyes pop, and give a youthful air without trying too hard. But like everything in life, balance is key. And when we're talking about super short bangs, also known as baby bangs, we're entering tricky territory. This type of fringe, which ends several centimeters above the eyebrows, can look trendy or bold. But for women over 60, it's often a choice that works against us. Why? Because exposing so much of the forehead highlights expression lines, dark spots, and any skin irregularities that naturally come with age. And you know that's not a problem, it's part of our journey, our story. But you also have every right to decide what to show and how to show it. Another thing to consider is how demanding this cut is. Baby bangs require constant upkeep, frequent trims, and if your hair has any frizz or your fringe acts up in the morning, as it happens to all of us, it can turn into a daily nightmare. And at our age, who wants to spend 20 minutes fighting with a brush every morning? You deserve a haircut that supports you, not one that holds you hostage in front of the mirror. Now, if you love having bangs, and that's totally valid, there are far more flattering options. One of the best is the long curtain fringe. This type opens softly at the center or to the side, frames the face, and falls with elegance. It has movement, and best of all, it suits almost all face types, even if you prefer to keep long hair. Curtain bangs can conceal the forehead without hiding it, add a romantic touch without looking childish, and blend easily into the rest of your style. It's versatile, modern, and most importantly, it honors your features, your maturity, and lets your beauty shine through. Think of women like Jane Fonda or Diane Keaton. Both have worn variations of long, relaxed bangs that don't take attention away from the face. They enhance it. They're not trying to hide anything. They simply highlight their best with elegance. And the most important thing, Queen, don't feel pressured by trends. Just because something is popular on social media or worn by some actresses doesn't mean it's right for you or that you need to try it. Cut number 1, the heavy straight cut. This cut is perhaps the most common among women of all ages, and in a way it makes sense. It's simple, easy to do at the salon, and doesn't require much fuss. Many choose it because it feels like a safe option, a no risks but still neat kind of look. But my love, that sense of safety is often an illusion. The heavy blunt cut with no shape, no layers, and no movement can be one of the styles that ages women over 60 the most. Not because you're doing anything wrong or because your hair needs to hide anything, but because this type of cut stiffens your look, dims your light, and most of all doesn't adapt to the natural changes that come with time. When the hair falls straight from root to tip, all the weight gathers at the bottom. That heaviness creates a drag-down effect as if your hair falls in a block, and that weight, besides making your face look longer or droopier, also emphasizes gravity around the neck, jawline, and chin. Many women keep this cut out of habit because they've worn it for years, because someone once said, "It suits you like this," or because the idea of changing it feels scary, and that's completely valid. You're not alone in that. But sometimes it's worth taking a second look and asking yourself, do I still look like me? Or am I hiding behind a cut that no longer represents me? What can you do if this feels like your case? It's not about a radical transformation or rushing to the salon with scissors in hand. It's about gently adding volume to your hair. For example, adding long layers that start around the shoulders or even soft texturing at the ends, that alone changes the weight of the cut, lets your hair breathe and gives you that much needed movement to feel free again. Because this isn't about looking younger, it's about looking more like yourself. Wearing a cut that reflects who you are today, not who you were 20 years ago. Changing your haircut doesn't mean giving up your style. It means updating it wisely. If you made it this far, drop a "I love my hair" in the comments, so I know you're part of our community of women who shine from within. What you learned today is just the beginning. My ebook, More Elegant Than Ever, will show you how to dress for your body type, choose your best colors, and so much more. The link's in the description, and only the first ones to grab it will get all the exclusive content, because you deserve to look like a